Okay, hold up. Where's my ball? Okay, well, I guess we're on TikTok.
Have you guys been seeing this trend going around, the Netflix documentary trend? Did you guys see some of the responses? If you got a chance to see that post, I thought some of these responses were pretty negative, but they came from different angles than I was expecting them to come from. One person said, "Get off TikTok and start deporting 30,000 illegal aliens a day, you rhino piece of shit." Wow, whoa, hold on. I didn't know it was going to go in that direction. This guy is doing the bidding of Donald Trump. I didn't know they were mad at him. Someone else said, "Keep the propaganda machine going on all fronts, I see." Wow, here. Someone else says, don't you have millions of invaders to deport? Wow, here's another one. He says, "I'm old enough to remember when the maggots freaked out over TikTok until they got paid." Oh, yeah, okay, that was a different angle. Okay, at least it's not everybody talking about deporting folks, because I didn't know that they were like mad at this guy. This is crazy. Let me find another one where they talked about him like this. "It's time to get the off TikTok and start deporting illegals." I didn't know MAGA was so mad at this guy. Did you guys know that they don't like Markwayne Mullin? I didn't know that, because apparently with that confirmation, nobody likes Markwayne Mullin. He's recently went on Fox News to apparently, I guess, try and remedy his image or something, because people don't like Markwayne Mullin.
But you did say that there was one imminent threat. It occurred in a locale where you don't normally get state or local participation with the feds. You had it in this instance. Tell me what you can about that imminent threat. Where? What kind of threat?
Well, I can't give you the location of it, but the threat was about using vehicles. It was specifically towards a fan fest, and fortunately enough, we were able to have coordination with federal partnership.
Was it domestic or foreign in nature, connected to foreign terrorism?
Well, that's probably too far. I can't go down that road with you, Will. That's still under investigation, but it was an intimate threat that, because of our federal partnership and our local partnership, being able to work together, we were able to stop it before it became any major incident.
Markwayne Mullin went over on Fox News to talk about a foiled terror plot during the World Cup. I feel like he's trying to prop up like his approval rating or something to try and make himself look a little bit better, because maybe he knew better than I did that nobody likes him. But the thing is, what happened, it was funny about this, Will Kane, who was trying to get, a nice, I guess, a scare moment for his audience, because that's what they peddle over at Fox News, is scare people more into being concerned about everything, so that they'll run back to vote for Donald Trump, who hasn't done anything about any of this stuff. He just makes it up. But Will Kane kept asking questions, and Markwayne Mullin kept coming up with no answers.
It's still ongoing.
Is that right?
Yeah. But I mean, not the threat's ongoing, but you're getting me close to where I can't go. We're still actively pursuing the case.
I understand.
Yeah.
Can you give me some sense of when this was during the World Cup in the past 39 days?
No, because I'd tell you the location if I did that. Because I know you're smart enough to figure that one out. It was a good approach, Will. I loved how you addressed that.
Well, I do hope that we can learn more about that. Yeah. That is, obviously we will with time.
You will.
But, it's an incredible success. We had not yet heard about. That would be one of my questions. Were there any credible or imminent threats? It sounds like there was one.
Will Kane probably ended that whole interview and said, "Damn it, man, why'd you come on here for? I'm looking for some nice, scary tactics." He thought that he was going to get some juicy details that he could then scare all of his audience with. And Markwayne Mullin didn't have any of it. Now, I haven't come to a full conclusion whether or not Markwayne Mullin was making all that up, or if he preemptively said, "I got to go on TV and talk about all the great work I'm doing and how we've busted some terror plots." Because I think it's very possible that there were some potential plans from folks to potentially harm a bunch of people. Whenever there's a large group of people on a worldwide stage, these types of things can happen. Not discounting that. I don't know if it's true. It very well could have been true. But even if it was true, Markwayne Mullin couldn't say anything about it, because maybe they're still in whatever kind of stage of it where they can't talk publicly about it. But he went on TV to talk about it without talking about it. It might be because he's in hot water and he's trying to make himself look better, just like Kash Patel was, and he needed to make himself look better. I didn't know this either. Not only don't random people and bots on Twitter not like Markwayne Mullin, apparently DHS Secretary Markwayne Mullin's facing growing tensions with the White House as well. Damn. This was reported by NBC News, Julia Ainsley and Gabe Gutierrez. Crazy. They said that Mullin has managed to ruffle feathers and irk the administration multiple times in just these 4 months as Department of Homeland Security head. He reportedly ran into trouble first after pausing these vehicle stops and their policy following these shootings in Texas and in Maine that everyone's been talking about. Trump quickly and publicly reversed that decision, as we talked about before, because Markwayne Mullin never got any approval from the White House. Here's a quote. Every cabinet secretary knows that they have to come to the White House for major policy decisions. The president sees, hears, and reads everything. Well, maybe not the reading part, because Donald Trump doesn't know how to do that all that well. And actually, when you put words in front of him, he gets frustrated by it and he wants like pictures to go along with it instead. Here's a little bit more. Mullin also misspoke, quote unquote, during a CNN interview recently when discussing a Supreme Court ruling on protected status for immigrants from Haiti and Syria. And he said hundreds of thousands could apply for legal status when apparently, according to this fascist White House, they could not. This, according to the report, was annoying to some in the administration. Nothing pisses off these bigots than someone accidentally, apparently, saying that there are actual pathways to citizenship in this country for brown folks. And damn it, that's not what white supremacists want to believe in here. One last part here. The DHS secretary also reportedly raised concerns with the nomination of Lance Schroyer as ICE director. The former incident commander, he's a former incident commander with the Oklahoma Highway Patrol, and he's a longtime ally of Markwayne. But some are concerned that he lacks the proper experience. Markwayne Mullin is the head of DHS, and they're concerned about someone that he's going to appoint having proper experience for a role as the head of ICE. One person reportedly concerned about this is Tom Homan. Homan and others aren't particularly thrilled with him, is what that administration official also said. Well, I'll tell you what, Tom, most Americans aren't thrilled with you either, bro. Nobody likes you either. And actually, hey, look, Tom Homan does have experience. It doesn't mean that he's good. It means that he's an experienced fascist, and he works in really well with Donald Trump and his fascism. I can't get over the fact that part of the tensions growing between the White House and Markwayne Mullin is that he's trying to hire on someone that doesn't have much experience. Bro, that's all they do. Look at Pete Hegseth. Look at Pam Bondi. Look at all these folks who were losers and destroying all these agencies on purpose. Look at, who was it? Linda McMahon. Everybody that they put in place doesn't know what they're doing, and that's by design. But apparently, only Donald Trump can put in idiots that don't know anything of what they're doing. I guess to get in their good graces, Markwayne Mullin went on a bit of a Twitter spree. So as the tensions grew, especially after he said that they got to stop with these random vehicle stops when they kill people, this is what Markwayne Mullin posted. He says, "Good morning, America. It's a great day for deportations," with an image of a bunch of folks in prison gear, apparently migrants that they're sending off to whatever hell country they feel like sending them off to. That's how this operates. He gets in good graces by ramping up the fascism. It always works when you work for a fascist. So let me leave you guys with this. It's disconnected, but it gives us a small window into who Markwayne Mullin has always been. And I guess the reason why that Donald Trump wanted him as the head of DHS, that is before he started defying him. This video is from a few years ago, before he was, in this administration. He was talking about and bragging, apparently, to, I guess, folks who were entertained by this, about how fun it is to spank his daughter.
Now, you take Lara, for instance, when she was a girl, trying to spank her Dale was like a 4-minute ordeal because she's like, "No, Daddy, no, Daddy, no, Daddy, no. I'm sorry, Daddy, I'm sorry, Daddy." And then she'd get madder and madder, and she just couldn't bring herself to even bend over for me to be able to bust her butt. And I was like, "Honey, you got like 2 seconds, or you're going to get 2 instead of 1.
Had you guys seen that before? I remember that from before. It was several years ago. I can't remember how many years ago it was. I know a lot of people spank their kids. I'm not the type. So whatever. I mean, we can disagree on that. But I don't know how many people go around I'm not sure if he's an elected official yet. He had his cowboy hat on though. And brag about how their child runs, screams, and begs not to be spanked. And then after running and begging not to be spanked, maybe you keep that to yourself because that's probably something you shouldn't tell folks about. How your grown ass man, goes and attacks your kid and then says, "You're going to get it double time if you don't stop." Hey, bro, like I said, in your house, whatever you want to do with your kids, I guess we leave that alone. But for some reason, it's clout to then tell other folks, what do you say? I'm going to not beat your butt, whatever he said, tear your butt, whatever the hell he said. Nasty some bitch. Because that's clout in these circles.